All right, YouTube land. I think we are live and alive. The yeah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Happy Monday. It's another edition for our Monday Night Online Mic presented by the Barbed Wobbin Mic series here in El Paso, Texas. EP. What's going on? We've been doing this every single Monday night since April of 2020. In that time, we've had people come and join this group, this little corner of the internet where people get to share their poetry, their writing, their singing, their music. And tonight, you're part of that tradition. We do have people joining us from the El Paso region, but thanks to the internet, we have people joining us from all over the world, all over the country. And we can do that in a snap of a finger. This is our stay at home open mic. That's right. If you're here tuning in, welcome, welcome. I do want to give a shout out to a new subscriber, Jordan Barclay. What's up? Also, thanks for helping with EPCC Tejano Passport. On that note, if you are an EPCC student and you are here for the QR code to receive those points, what you're going to have to do is just tune in. Hang out for a little bit, listen to performers. Then you're gonna send me an email with a brief paragraph explaining, what you felt about the event, what you experienced, who did you enjoy listening to, whose work did you, are there any lines that stuck to you that you felt into your soul? All those directions are in the description of the video. Also, if you're just tuning in and you feel like you have something that you want to share, the link to sign up is also in the description, along with a bunch of other stuff, ways you can support the show, including purchase a BWOMS t-shirt, which you can check out in the background of Ed's background once he's up. But yeah, thanks for tuning in as always. And also, because this is a live stream, we can't see our audience like we would during a live show. So it's nice to know who's tuning in. Say hello in the chat. If you're tuning in from anywhere else in the world, let us know. And if you're watching this later on the week, well, hello. Hopefully the world is still going. Yeah, hello from the past. But yes, we're going to go ahead and, we have a pretty decent list once again, people from all over the country, all over the world. But I do want to mention, if you're in the El Paso area, please join us and check out our in-person shows all throughout the week, all throughout the month. This week, we do have our downtown open mic. As always, we're going to be at Rosewood for our Verse and Harmony open mic. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9 p.m. That's hosted by Dorimar and crew. David usually on sound. That's our music and poetry one, hence Verse and Harmony. So come through if you can. Tuesday nights have been pretty fun. Wednesday is for the writers. And this week we are at Storycraft. That is our storytelling night for lovers of stories. And, if you want to share something you've been working on, up to 15 minutes, all you have to do is show up around 6:30, doors open. You put your name on a piece of paper and throw it into a golden chalice. From there, our host Grizz will draw names, up to 4 names minimum, where each reader gets up to 15 minutes to share a piece of their work, followed by 15 minutes of audience feedback and Q&A. By the way, it's storytelling. Yes, there is prose poetry, but kind of keep that in mind, because we've had a dude who's just been coming up and reading poetry the last few times, and with not really wanting feedback either. So anyway, just saying. And then that's a short week for us, because the last 2 weeks we've had an event every single night, Monday through Friday. So hey, Thursday off. That's kind of nice. But we are here every Monday. If you want to be kept up to date and join us on Mondays, even get the first word of when the link is out, you can check us out on our link tree. If you're on YouTube on our homepage, just click on the links, and that is there. And any of our social media on our Instagram, link in bio, all that good stuff. So with that said, this is the part of the show where I talk the most. Otherwise, I'll be introducing you to our awesome performers that definitely encourage you guys, even though you've done this time in, week out, time and time again, definitely promote yourselves, right? What are your websites, Substack, your Instagram, your social media, your link trees? Where can we follow and support your work? So if I forget to ask you, just plug yourself. That's definitely one of the goals of this. And also, yeah, we have people tuning in. So again, if you're an EPCC student, check out the description. There are directions on how to get down to passport credit. But without further ado, let's go and get this thing started, as we've done many, many, many times before. I'm going to give a shout out to Michael Sindler to kick off the mic. So when you are ready, Michael, you are in the spotlight. Cheers.
Yeah, hey everybody, great to be here. Just to get this whole putting stuff up thing going for all you YouTube people and students, lighthouseriders.org. a really wonderful organization full of all kinds of stuff for all kind of writers at whatever level. Um, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and it led to me reading them this poem. So let me take you back to 1979 as I wake up on a couch, and I actually had this entire poem that I just wrote down. Welcome the Headhunter. I walked in sleep through the Kalahari, tongue glazed and hardened to solid glass. Words slip sharp, clear, please, no oases, just mountains in the air, shadows cold as Victoria's depths, dark as Congo midnight. I am more silent than jackals now, more lonely than the rhino. Foreshortened plain, nearsighted plan. I am more thirsty than I could ever be awake. Glass oozing hot in my mouth, closing off sound. My eyes glazed with same sheen, but cool and still. I would welcome the headhunter from some random jungle, swinging into my sane sand world, shaking spear. It is hard to find excitement in dreams. And so that is how I woke up on that particular day. I thought I'd carry on with another little thing. This is actually one of my first tankas I ever wrote many years ago. It's called Midnight Blue, Not Black, is the color of morning that I am cloaked in, said the woman in my dream as I awoke to morning. And I thought I'd just do one more. Bunch of y'all have probably heard this one, but I just thought I'd pull it up. The Rings of Saturn. The rings of Saturn shine infinitely distant from your hand, forged by accident or design, a series of celestial bands reflecting light from darkness, pointing toward the periphery, precisely the way my heart does when memory brings misery. The rings of Saturn shine, encircling planet in revolution, still captive to the pull of time, as is a prayer for absolution. Out next to Jupiter, out past Mars, only Saturn wears jewelry. Still no rival to the endless stars who know adornments are illusory. The rings of Saturn shine as they spread themselves thin. The sphere inside confined can do little but languidly spin. Planets pass each other lifelessly, hopelessly chasing constellations. Our faint hopes held tight, some silently, until memory brings consolation. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, awesome. Thank you. And as always, shout out to plugging the local literary source there for Mike in Denver. I don't even know I mentioned joining us from Denver, Colorado. Also the Beat Poet Laureate of Denver, right? You have Lighthouse Writers, so shout out to lighthousewriters.org. One of the instructors there is actually a co-founder of BWOMS. So there's connections, right? We're making these threads, we're finding these threads of connections. So that's kind of one of the beautiful things of all this stuff. Shout out to Paperback Poet will be reading. Yes, we got Taco Bell Chris in the house. The Taco Bell Chris, what? Oh man, what a celebrities in the house. David Motherfucker in the house. We got Samuel Wilson. What's up? Samuel's been coming like since the first year, the first days. So yeah, what's going on, everyone? Jordan is in the house. Yeah, I give you a shout out. Yes. There you go. It was cool to see you here. Yeah. Anyway, as always, it's cool to see who's tuning in and hanging out with us. I always say, if you hear a line that is fire, throw down that fire emoji in the chat. 100. Whatever you're feeling, it's cool to always get that feedback. Yeah, welcome guys. It's nice to have you here with us tonight. We're gonna keep this online mic going, and joining us from also Colorado, we have David Latif. So David, when you are ready, stage is yours. What's up, my friend?
Thanks, Bunch. Hi, David Latif. I'm a neuroqueer poet. I'm going to plug my shit before I forget. I have a book. It's called The Chair, A Cluttered Pile of Neuroqueer Poetry. You can buy it on Amazon, or if you're in Denver, hit me up. I usually try to keep copies on me. Um, it's been a week. It's been a week. So I'm going to do what Kit Wren described on Saturday of like screaming into the void. This is my latest scream. I think I called it We Can't Go to Kansas Anymore. I am trapped on an island, landlocked just west of the center of this mess we call a country. Kansas just put every single trans person under an effective house arrest. Every driver's license under a changed gender marker has been invalidated in less than a day. And if you've been anywhere in Kansas, you'll know that, like the rest of North America, you can't exactly walk everywhere or anywhere. So, with Utah to the west and Wyoming to the north, my only safe state neighbor is New Mexico. There's an ADHD conference in Austin, and while Austin is safe, I'd have to go through the rest of Texas or the TSA to get there. The backscatter X-ray scanner at the airports looks for odd shapes on bodies, the kind of odd shapes that trans people are full of. TSA pre-check allows you to skip the security theater and go through a simple metal detector. It also costs money and a background check, the kind of background check that might have opinions on name changes, and its continued existence seems to be up in the air. And that isn't to mention the bathrooms. Trans folks have begun compiling maps of every gender neutral or single occupant bathroom on the planet. Because if you can't use public bathrooms, you can't exist in public, at least not for very long. All of these new crimes would put us in prisons that are allowed to take away our life-saving medications in an attempt to cure us by killing us. It's a genocide, the same as last time. It's a rerun, and all of you are seemingly as unaware as the last time it happened, willing to appease and look away. We don't have that luxury. This next one is some old shit. It's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but he's trans and has a cigarette hanging from his lips. I remember hearing the phrase, it gets better, so damn often. I really wanted to believe it's true, the same way I tried to keep believing in Jesus after I knew it was all a lie, but at this point, I really don't know if it does get better. I wanted to believe in happy endings for everyone, but there's a point where you realize not everyone gets one. Almost no one gets one. So when you were a sad-ass kid only for it to go downhill from there, but I was nostalgic for third grade in seventh grade. I feel like my happiest moment passed me by with the same way affordable housing did. If it got better, I wouldn't have panic attacks anytime I have to interact with anyone remotely considered normal. If it got better, I'd be incredibly clear that I'm incredibly queer. I'd have a proper coming out rather than putting they them shit on everything I own and hoping people will notice. I'd have the bravery to correct people when they say he and him and his, words that feel like rusty nails dragging on my soul, but I am afraid, and partially for good reason. Because judgment can be lethal, not always, but like Trans Day of Remembrance exists for a reason, especially now, and the closet door can function as a shield, at least a little bit. Tower shield that your landlord bought on a budget. I mean, it may not be able to stop bullets or even fists, but it might slow them down a little bit. So when you say it gets better and I peek outside the closet door to see how better has been trending in the negative direction, well, forgive me if, like Thomas, I have some doubts. This next one is called Crafting a Better World. Can universal healthcare be a thing that we make with our hands? Can affordable housing be built out of paper mache? Can we paint the details of justice onto the world with a paintbrush. I'm not the best with fabrication. My shaky hands can't get things to line up properly. I've bought 3 model car kits and haven't had the guts to try to put them together, but if I could buy a Revell model kit of a better world at Hobbytown, I'd have made a galaxy's worth. I feel powerless in this day and age. I try to drown myself in projects. My next one is a sound box that plays reggae and audiobooks for my roommate's dog so he doesn't get stressed when both of us are gone. The parts for that were all at Micro Center. I'm not sure where the components for the end of capitalism, the true abolition of slavery, and the guarantee of bodily autonomy are. But I'll keep looking. This last one is called A Prompt as a Poem. I want you to imagine the seed of a hope plant. What does it look like to you? Does it look like a seed or does it look like something else? A person, an idea, a Molotov cocktail? When you plant it, what will it grow into? Is it a tree or is it more? What fruits does it bear, literal or metaphorical? Don't let cynicism or pessimism or realism, which is to say cynicism and pessimism, cloud your vision. Now write. Know that writing about it is the first step in making it happen. Thank you. You can find me on Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. You should do whatever you can to try to make this world a better place. I know that it's hard, but hopefully if we do it together, we can make a bit of a difference. Thank you.
Orale, orale. Yes, yes. Thank you, David. Yo, check out the Substack. I think I said this before, but it's like the sneak peek of the stuff that David is working on, you know, before you hear it at the online mic. A lot of the peeps have Substack, including our next performer. He's pretty fly for a Jedi. He's also got that live long and prosper mentality. We got Ed K. Gonzalez next up on the mic. So, Ed, also rocking the BWOMS stuff in the background. When you are ready, the stage is yours, my friend. All right. Hello. Welcome back.
Okay, hello everybody. Um, the t-shirt's actually right here. They do come in separate, different colors. I mean, you could check out the link tree. If not, shoot Richie a message. I'm pretty sure he'll help you. But I just got it from the link tree. So, in different colors, really cool ones. I want to go ahead and say happy Monday and happy March. And go from there, come to strictly to gratitude. Thank you, BWOMS. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. Y'all makes Mondays great. I'm gonna go ahead. Sorry, you blew. Never mind. That's just, I couldn't even explain if I wanted to. I'm gonna go right to it. I got 2 tumble words, and then I got 2 covers. This one was actually these 2 are actually from the last Saturday tumble words by the great Kit Wren. And this one was on Lucille Clifton, which I do some great research on that and just amazing, amazing stuff. Always come out scholarly. This first one is entitled The Howl of Despair. This is not a reach right now. Our current state and the strategies laid out right now, despair is now. Common sense is not common. A very good friend said to me that these morons are here for a reason. They snuck in while we were looking at ourselves. And it is a chance to focus on our minds and reactions. And chances are many to practice empathy and to control our rage. And to control our rage at their callous disregard for decency. And to know not what to do when you're acting like a human. And as I get to practice focusing my breathing and attempting to remain present in this shit show. So that was the first one. The second one's entitled Actual Strength. I love this prompt. It wasn't until now in my current occupation do I have the time now to realize as a part of the persona I created, the mega ego Ed, because in my early youth of neglect. Only now I see it as a strength. I just assumed everybody else felt that self-promotion. Only now I can put Mega Ed under the microscope and heal the damage done. Mega Ed didn't feel weak. Then that popped up. I quickly turned to rage. No jacket needed. The fire kept me warm. No weak or crying, my mom said. That's the Texas way. I only get to say it once, but I said we lived in LA before I got the shoe until she found the belt. My mom and dad were both born here in El Paso, and it is strength while I learn to cry. Okay. That was my second one. These are really, you got to come to Tumbleweed Saturday at 1 Mountain Time. So I got two quick. Just kind of squeeze this on my new hat. The first cover is one entitled Coping by Audra Lorde. It has rained for 5 days running. The world is a round puddle of sunless water, where the sun islands are only beginning to cope. A young boy in my garden is bailing out water from the flower patch. While I ask him why, he tells me, the young seeds have not seen the sun, forget, and drown easily. Audre Lorde. Okay, and this one is actually from a piece that I really dug from last Saturday. It's called The Garden of Delight by the great Lucille Clifton. For some, it is stone, bare, smooth as a buttock, rounding into the crevice of the world. For some, it's extravagant water, mouths wide, washing together forever. For some, it is fire. For some is air, and for some, certainly, only the syllables. It is the element they search for in their lives. Eden. For them, it is a test. All right, and that's my pieces. I wanted to say thank you again to Richie and Kit and to BWOMS for being there for me on Monday. Also, self-care. Remember, take time every day, even if it's just for a few deep breaths. You know, self-care. You are valued. Peace and love.
Beautiful. Man, you guys are coming hard, like not just with the pieces, but like the messages afterwards, you know? No, as always, I appreciate the gratitude. I'm grateful for the gratitude. You know, something to keep practicing. And of course, that self-care, self-love. Look that person in the morning mirror and tell them you look good today. All right, that's Ed Gonzalez, everyone. You can also usually catch him at our Valley Point mic last Thursday. Not the last Thursday, I'm sorry. That's Old Sheepdog competing events. One of the Thursdays out of the month, I got to coordinate with our host, Jez, to see when that is going to happen in March. But we're going to keep this thing moving along. And as far as the online mic goes, all skies are clear. No storm in sight. And I'm talking about our performer storm. I don't think he's here. Let me double check really quick in the room. No, he's not here. So we're going to go ahead and move on. You know, we're a little sad, but maybe something the doctor ordered is some more poetry from South Euclid, Ohio, because we have Doc Janning up next on the mic. So Doc, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Contribution. We live within a presence, and it within us, in the tabernacle of our hearts, a dwelling within, an overwhelming paradox of the limitless within the limited. And in that presence, and from our hearts, we give and we build. For in giving, we also receive. And in building, we build together to transform the future. We contribute and build, not a structure with limits, but a force etched in light, an eternal symbol, a voice with a message, and a forever. Let's see. Evolution of a dream. dreaming in moments, moments of color and shape, defining a world, interpreting its existence with sacred sensory acumen and ancient innate knowledge. The dream grows, appears on the inscape of infinity amid the silences of forever, glows with the intensity of life and gathers the shadows of time. Unseen energies flow, embracing, enrobing the evolving dream, imbruing it with the who, what, and why. And it is. These last two go back to Valentine's Day. In a Moment, it's titled. Your smile, your voice, your presence enchanted, enchained me in the bonds of love. Your openness, your sharing, your joys and sorrows draw me closer in love with the reality of you. You are a quiet strength, making love feel easy, transcendent, natural, safe. You are in every breath I take, every moment, every thought, every dream, every hope. And you are become my everything, my forever, my home, my life. Ani ohev atach tamid. It's Hebrew and it means I will love you forever. And this is Journey and Quest. The oriflamme of hearts, the banneret of yearning, captivates and leads, pilgrimage and anabasis, a sacred journey, a numinous quest, moving through moments between beats of hearts, a journey of devotion, a quest for love, for eidolon moments and intimacy of souls, an odyssey of memory, a dream quest of tomorrows, of incalescent moments and an infinite forever, a journey and a quest with but one destination, one thought, one dream, you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doc. And as always, gotta ask, any plugs, any shows that you want to promote, your online presence before we move on?
No, nothing really coming up that's online. Just in-person things this month, at least right now. Online could come up at any moment.
Okay, fair, awesome. And of course, you can just look up Doc Janning on Facebook and also check out any of the work that he has, including his book. But there's a lot of new people tuning in. I just want to give a shout out to kind of one of Doc's greatest hits. He managed to find a way to still join us one time from from a hospital bed. That's pretty, it is a greatest hit. So just FYI for all our new people tuning in, that's Doc for you. Yeah, but thanks for joining us as always.
If you're determined, there's a way.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, hopefully none of us have to do that, but yeah. All right, thank you, man. We're going to go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next performer. He's got a quaint little genre called Mersic, and he's been joining us on Tuesday nights as well to perform. Always great to get a little bit of music, singer-songwriter action in here. We got Aaron Atkins next on the mic. So Aaron, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Yo.
Hello. Yeah, my music. Yeah. Well, I had a pretty productive night last night, and I wrote like 3 songs, so I just wanted to test them out, see if they're any good or if they're any bad. So here's my first one. Well, I'm sure you'd like to come away where you can't go. And I'm sure you'd like to show them folks what you can't show 'em. Oh, but anytime you think about leaving this world behind, there ain't nowhere you can shelter that ain't mine. Well, I know you like to slip away where you won't stay, and I know you like to prove to them what you won't say. Oh, but anytime you start believing you've crossed that line, there ain't no door you can walk through that don't open inside. And I'm sure you'd like to close that gate and lock it tight. And I'm sure you'd like to lose my voice in the night. Oh, but anytime you think about turning off your light, there ain't no shadow deep enough to hide your shine. Well, I'm sure you like to come away where you can't go. There's one, and then another. There's another one with the looper pedal, so let's hope I don't fuck it up again. I've been torn between worlds, been getting lost inside myself. I've been split between words, letting doubt define myself. Been lost in walks, I left the trees inside of me. Sit back and watch the times you try to lie to me. And words don't recognize the times I tried to find those things I lost inside of me. I've been told to you good, but time keeps coming, I don't know where it goes. I wanted to be free of things I tried to be, so selfish and unhinged, but I was blind to see the things I wanted for myself, the most of all to be someone else I tried to be. Oh, I messed up. Need to work on the looper pedal kind of thing. All right, I got one more, and this was a request to. I was given a request to write a love song by a female in my life, and so this is said love song. Stir your coffee till the spoon goes still. Ask me what I'm thinking. I said I don't know, but I will. You laugh and change the subject, point out the shapes in the clouds above. You talk about your childhood, I hear the shape of your love. Love takes a while, it don't rush in on a Tuesday. Don't always hit you like a movie scene in the rain. Love takes a while, it's quiet on a good day. Coming up slowly, like the space between our names. I'm not in a hurry, I'll wait here a lifetime. 'Cause love takes a while. You leave your sweater on the backseat of my car. Smells like laundry, soap, and cinnamon, and now it's hanging everywhere. Oh fuck. In my kitchen, in my car seat, in the corners of my mind. It's funny how your little habits tangle into mine. Love takes a while, it don't rush in on a Tuesday. Don't always hit you like a movie scene in the rain. Love takes a while, it's quiet on a good day. Coming up slowly, like the space between our names. I'm not in a hurry, I'll wait here a lifetime. 'Cause love takes a while. I realize those are they're totally different styles of music, but yeah, I got my cutesy little twee kind of dealio, and I got my kind of, I don't know, country kind of weirdo dealio. But thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it, and thank you to your host Richie for putting this all together. I really appreciate the space.
For sure. And how can people follow and support you online if that's something you got set up already?
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram at Comedy Bad Boy. I used to do that comedy, but I don't anymore. I also am on Spotify as Aaron Atkins, Aaron Atkins, Atkins like the diet, Aaron like the rental store.
I was gonna say, which one are you gonna do for the Aaron part? Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming through the online mic. And as mentioned, you know, the last few weeks you've been able to catch him on a Tuesday night. Again, if you're in El Paso, catch us tomorrow night, Tuesday night at Rosewood, for our Verse and Harmony mic. And sign up for that starts at 8 p.m. Flyers coming up in just a moment, but we're gonna keep this thing moving along. I do not see Brian in the room, so we're gonna keep this. Let's see. That means up next is Robin. We got Robin Schofield up next. Master gardener, master poet, always mastering the fits. Without further ado, when you're ready, happy Monday, and the stage is yours, Robin.
Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday, Richie. It's almost a full moon, and so the Chinese New Year celebrations are going to be over tomorrow. It's a celebration of 2 weeks. I kind of like Chinese New Year because unlike our New Year, where everybody spends it, there's one day and you spend it hungover or something. You know, in Chinese New Year, you got 2 weeks and you get your house, you can clean up your house and do spring cleaning. And anyway, you can do a lot of things. But this year happens to be the year of the fire horse. I don't mean to alarm you, but this is called Misfortune in the Year of the Fire Horse. In Edo, the greengrocer's daughter, born in the fateful year, Yaoya Osichi fell in fiery love with a temple page. Raging with desire, she tried to commit arson and was burned at the stake at 16. At the bakery on Pudding Lane, the sleepy baker rose at midnight, betting it all on the wooden houses, indecision by Mayor Bloodworth. When the fire jumped the river fleet, they got out the gunpowder. For the Apache, the year brought joy and catastrophe, pairs of twins, brothers and sisters who circled each other, till the woman in the moon came home and the blue coat tribe arrived. In San Francisco, the earthquake ruptured gas lines. The fire chief died. The army blew up houses to make fire breaks. People set their own homes ablaze. Their insurance covered fire, not earthquake. Chinatown, rubble. The people there not counted. Okay, now I have a little political poem, and I modeled it on a poem by the great Robert Hayden. You may be familiar with his poem, Those Winter Sundays. That's all we ever see by Robert Hayden, but he's got a lot of great poems. So anyway, this is called Weighing the Fruits, after Monet's Water Lilies by Robert Hayden. The Somali people, Minneapolis, Nigeria, Venezuela, oil profits, all African ambassadors withdrawn. Venal racism, the kind I didn't have to fight, smokes like a refinery. A reasonable Methodist, my father was the liberal judge who fought that battle and won, I thought. At the grocery store, I can't live, outraged yet numb all the time, trying to decide between apples and tangerines, whether the mangoes are too green, while the fascists trample on our Bill of Rights. I don't know what's right or right, whether I am wounded or not yet. I watch the news on various devices. I will slide my debit card into the slot, type my secret code for the fruit, milk, yogurt, pet food, and cereal. Coffee doubled in price, tariffs, and climate breakdown added in. I weigh the blushing mangoes from eternal summers in Mexico or Brazil. I put my hopes and fears on the scale. Fruitless, they don't move the needle. I place the tangerines to weigh the joy of the world each of us has lost. Okay, so this is a Tumblewords poem done in a Kit Wren workshop when I was in San Miguel. So that was fun. I just zoomed in on a Saturday afternoon because the weather was bad. And this workshop was called Never Such Innocence Again. So that's what I called the poem. I am sorry, Ben Franklin, that we could not keep the Republic. We elected your worst nightmare come true, low-life grifter turned television huckster turned politician running our republic into the ground. It's not like he works or reads anything. The fat and Gadsby governs by whim and decree, dictator of social media. Even the crook Nixon was restrained by the courts. Now the Supremes have upheld this fraudster's alternate reality. No consequences for the lawless, as long as you are rich and not a Venezuelan fisherman. Now I want to read my cover poem. And this one, it's by Angela Layton. And she's an English poet. This was published in The Guardian, and so far it's not collected in a book. It's a double sonnet. And it's called Phoenician. Unwise, wondering children play for their lives. They build and spoil, raise and raise, sand-grained castles to edge the shore, an advancing standstill. Nothing of them will remain to meet the new day. We who are old gaze seawards, where black sails make movable A's on the horizon, calling a name. Aleph, Aleph, and ox head, letters that spell our dimly literate past in a Phoenician place. But all I remember is a mask, its grimace or smile, like an old man's wrinkled face, ironic, set in the crazed rictus of a grin at something hidden. Hard to relate if they burned their children alive, all smiling, smiling in mass to pleasure a God who does not see their terror or hear their cries, but accept the sacrifice, the life's soft parts, disguised by that hard laughter baked to last. We dream and stare, drowsy late historians, wise after our years. In the day's museum, such gleeful trophies wink, keepsakes, you'd think, each terracotta twice fired to save its face. These Tophet memorials haunt within our walls, sardonic casts recording no name or age, a comic strip we cannot conceive or face, outfacing us. Their alphabet is ours. Collateral, think, a smokescreen. Are we blind by half? The drones we make explode elsewhere in fires. So many children, their lives, earthenware survives, and these mad masks is theirs. Listen, the last laugh. Angela Layton, Phoenician, for all the children in wars all over the world. All right, thank you, Richie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Robin, as always. And, check out her books if you are in the El Paso area. You can go to any of the bookstores. Go to them before they close, please.
Yeah, go to Literary before it closes.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. But yeah, go check it out. And anything to promote before we?
Oh, I'm doing tumble words a couple of times this month. One time this month and one time in April. And I'm doing some gardening talks around town. So look for me.
Perfect. Love it. All right. Thank you, Robin. Yeah. All right. Be on the lookout for that, guys. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's nice to see so many familiar names in the chat, throwing all the flame emojis. Yeah, thanks for what up? We got Ben in the house as well. Want to give a shout out to you for joining us. Cyber Danny, what's up? What's up? Hello. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Juliet, welcome. Yeah, love having you guys here. And again, if you are an EPCC student looking for the Tano passport credit, directions are in the description of the video. Just check it out for a little bit. Check out the show for a bit and then send me an email. But we're going to go ahead and keep this thing moving along. Like I said, because this is online, you get to go from El Paso to Greenfield, Massachusetts, where there has been a storm of brewing. Because hopefully you're brewing coffee, because then that would fit into the wordplay so much. We got Storm up next on the mic. So when you are ready, Storm, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks. No coffee, but coughing. Thank you so much for fitting me in. I apologize. I hadn't got enough sleep in the last couple of nights and fell asleep. Alrighty. Drums. Beat the drums of war again. Wet their skins with the blood of men. Sound them both near and far. Another medal, another star. Loose the flag and let it wave over another needless grave. Proposition. An owl calls from the branches, come deeper, who will miss you? You live on your own, the others will think you're off, traveling to get away again, and your parents won't call for at least a month or so. Someone might think about you as they throw away your food, which is rotted in the refrigerator, but that will be all. I can give you a bed and teach you to forget your manners, to renounce your name. You will eat as I do, striking the moment you sense movement, vomiting up what doesn't appeal. Turn your head and listen. The coy dog howls that it's come into the forest before you, that it's come back into the forest before you, and other animals are already announcing your arrival. Whose parts are safer? Gameness. When he taught when he caught his fish, he didn't kill them or cook them. He left them breathing inches away from their river. He left them to flop as if they were gymnasts limbering up or in the midst of an epileptic fit. When he caught his women, he did not kill them or marry them. He left them breathing inches away from his body. He left them to mind as if they were daughters or in the midst of a hypnotic trance. Two, these were his ways of saying no, no to any attachments, no to roles he knew he should follow, his ways of striking out like an anarchist while staying as secretive as a voyeur. Three, his women learned of the fish because he told them. He made them listen as he described every movement each made seeking to stay alive. His women learned of each other because he told them. He made them listen as he described every movement each made seeking to attract attention. 4. No woman ever left him with bad feelings. Each was too happy that she had left. 5. With time, the women found each other, figured out what he was missing, and decided what should be done. When they caught him, they did not kill him or kiss him. They left him breathing inches away from their flames. They left him to stare as if he were a statue changing to dust or in the midst of getting the message. There is a house in New Mexico in sage and pinyon pine. It was the ruin of many young girls, the house of the Epstein crime. The crystal chandeliers shone bright upon the polished floor, but dread and darkness chilled the night and wept behind each door. No lullaby in that wide land to calm your frightened cries. No mama's care, no daddy's hand, just empty gilded lies. Oh, daughters hurt so deeply, now living with the pain. You were so young, you could not know you'd never be the same. Coyotes wailed where children prayed for help, but no one heard. Now Pam has locked their truths away. The victims now are smeared. We must expose this cover-up of wealthy, powerful men. Their cruelties depravities in the house of the Epstein sins. God, if I could just rub a salve over my life and ease this pain and aching, how much longer can I exist unknowing what benefit the future? I feel such crumbling inside and throughout this world as I have known it or desire it to be. If I could just soothe deeply this despair and loosen the muscles around lungs and heart, Would that be enough to stop me from waking in the morning crying?
All right, Storm. Thank you so much. Your plugs, as always.
Yep. Well, one more week, or actually just a couple of days to register for Spring Harmony. I'll put information. It's online, March 6th through 8th, and it's by San Francisco Folk Club. If you like singing online or like listening to singing online, I'm going to be doing a concert, which will be actually me reading a couple of longer poems. And I'll be doing a workshop, which will be a meditation song combination. And People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle. We do things online and a couple times a year in the physical on the East Coast. Put info in the chat. And Daily Antidote of Song, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. And 12 noon Eastern, somebody comes from somewhere in the world, sings a song or two, and gets interviewed. And there's a great community built up around it. Been going for 1,158 days, which are archived on YouTube.
All right, cool. Thank you. That's Storm. And again, we're going to go from Massachusetts to our next performer who's in Louisiana working on their next book. And I'll let them talk more about it. But also, not too many poets have a coloring book, and that's what Sam has. So next up, we have Sam Hardy. So, Sam, when you are ready, the stage is yours. Hello.
Hey everyone, can you hear me okay, Richie?
Yeah.
Good, okay, because I'm on a different mic. Sorry about the no video, but this computer doesn't have a video. So anytime you see me without one, you know the camera, there's no camera. So anyway, I have some new shit. So I'm gonna blast right through it. Don't blink, you'll miss it. Some of it's pretty short, so here we go. Oh, and yes, I do have a new coloring book out. You can read about it in the chat. I'm very proud of it. So Sam the Poet as a character. Anyway, here we go. My first poem. Hold on, here we go. My first poem is called All at Once. I have been both okay and not okay. I have lived in total silence and screamed with joy. Life is always something, all the time, all at once. The next one is called Container. I carry oceans in a paper cup, careful not to tilt, careful not to spill, pretending paper is permanent. They said I was too much. When the rim softened, when the bottom gave way, when the tide showed through. But paper was never meant to hold weather. Next one is called Cup. I don't need to shrink. I don't need to dilute. I don't need to be dry. I don't need to be shallow. I will not evaporate for your comfort. I will not recede to ease your load. I will not spill for your containment. I am not the problem. I am not the leak. I am not your overflow. I am not the drop in your cup. I am the ocean. Containers simply cannot hold me. And I wrote this one today. Not sure how I feel about it yet, but it's called The Outside In. No one ever truly knew me. Growing up, I was cut in half. The outside, the only part they wanted to see. The useful parts. The inside, the part that survived, the part that screamed quietly. The outside learned posture. The inside learned survival. One smiled in rooms, one kept score. The outside was smiles and curls. Even at 7, I knew how to keep a face on. Armor holding shape so the inside could stay breathing. Now that I'm older, the armor still fits, but it is lighter, and I let the inside speak without asking the outside first. And then my last one doesn't have a title. I just wrote it about 3 hours ago. Growing up, I never chased gold stars, sought out the limelight, or meaningless accolades. But I did prove I was good. I proved it by staying quiet. When the bad man came, I didn't tell my mother about it. She was a hardworking single parent, already caring too much. I believed telling her would make her life harder. So I learned silence like mathematics or spelling, believing that I was helping her. Later, when she died, I didn't tell her either then. I didn't realize at the time I was helping myself to slowly disappear. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. And also, how can we support your work? One more time, in case people missed it earlier when you started it.
I put something in the chat, and I'll probably put it again before this is over with. But yeah, you can just look at my link tree, buy my book. It's only $7.99, guys. Come on. Anyway, yeah, just look at the chat.
For sure. Yeah. I also we got to transfer it over to the YouTube peeps for sure. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, I can do that, right? Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
I'll
on
do
there. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna keep this thing. And also, thanks to Kit for helping moderate that chat and sharing some of the links. I know Storm wanted to give credit to the Santa Fe Raging Grannies for that song that was sung. Thank you for the attribution. All right, we're gonna keep this night moving along because next up we've got he's already been name dropped a few times, as is often the case at this point of the night. He helped cover last Monday when I needed a little bit of a mental break, and held it down on Thursday at Old Cheap Dog Brewery. Without further ado, it's Mr. Monday Night, Kit Wren. Take it away.
What's up, buddy? What's up, everybody? Hello, you lovely people in the YouTube chat. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for making time for art, even in times of trouble, especially in times of trouble, because as James Baldwin said, you can look at art, you can see that the things that you think affect only you have affected everyone throughout history, that the thoughts you have are the same thoughts Dostoevsky had, so be sure to read. It's pretty cool. So, gonna try out some new shit. No guarantee that this will ever become anything, but we're gonna read it. Trigger warning for a few ideation type things. How do I stop the darkness without becoming the darkness? The thing that distinguishes the president from a serial killer is physical courage. I too lack physical courage. The troops are not brave. They're playing a computer game. I too am bad to mediocre at computer games. I've managed to make that not anyone else's problem. Nobody dies when I press tab. I believe many days that that is good. I guess it's not technically a symptom to be fixated on other people's suicide. I guess I don't need to tell anyone that I am laughing at a crude Photoshop of R. Bud Dwyer on the set of Nickelodeon's classic show, You Can't Do That on Television. A similarity between me and Bud Dwyer is we feel shame. Is he mad? He sounds mad. I think he's mad. Don't know the half of it, buddy. But, try to, send words of hope across the line as well. This is an old one. This is the Transmass commencement address. I want all the trans men growing their first wispy, irregular beards to know that I'm proud of them. You had a very specific dream and fought against all social currents to both be and become yourself. Soon, this will just be another thing to keep clean. A ruler-ready measure of sloth. But in the same way that unathletic eye can tell what a coach said wrong by the way his sophomore safety backpedals, I suspect that you know more than I do about this masculinity racket. But, yeah, I thought that was fun. Now a crowd pleaser. This one's called Middle Management. The I of the poem is not I, but he often resembles me. The I of the poem speaks in my diction and preoccupies himself with my concerns. I do not know if this makes him my employee or my son. Or maybe a plant sprouted from a treeman. When they complain about their circumstances, I do not know if they do so with the helpless wail of a skinned knee or the veiled threat of unionization. When they fail in front of a live audience, sometimes I am vengeful and protective like a mother bear. Other times I am disappointed and grim and inform them they have been reassigned. In a couple cases, let go altogether. A lovelorn I has requested a meeting. He has a list of demands. He is much more handsome than me, which makes his lovelornness inexplicable and cruel and artistically interesting. His first demand is just the word unfair in all capital letters. He is tired of being the Greek on the urn Keats saw, chasing and not catching, drinking but never drunk. He notes that I have no other poems in this emotional register. This is also unfair. This is too much pressure. And anyway, he thought I hated Keats. I love Keats. I don't know where he got that idea. Wordsworth, that's the one I hate. He wants a better ending. Poems never end, I say. He shrieks in frustration. Not another damn koan. I just want some fucking say in the things that I'm supposed to have done. That sounds reasonable. But plenty of actual people have the same complaint. This is supposed to be about them in the end, right? Not us. A poem isn't a way around or out of life. I lecture the lovelorn one. I put a fatherly hand on his shoulder. He doesn't like it. But he's too weak to shake it off. It has to be weathered, just like everything else. I shove him towards the door. He leaves, as miserable as he's ever looked. And I created him to be miserable. The eyes of my poems are talking amongst themselves. They are restless and stubborn. They are not staying within their lines and themes. They are comparing salaries. I do not know if they are my employees or my children, but they are definitely not plants. And both fathers and bosses know that the revolution always comes. Okay. And a quick cover. Gonna try the bilingual thing. Gonna try and push myself. Gonna try and remember what actual patriotism is, because it's not simple vulgar nationalism. It's something different. So this is High Treason by Jose Emilio Pacheco, Spanish first. Alta Traición. No amo mi patria. Su fulgor abstracto es inasible. Pero, aunque suene mal, daría la vida por 10 lugares suyos si era gente, puertos, bosques de pinos, fortalezas, una ciudad deshecha, gris, monstruosa, varias figuras de su historia, montañas y 3 o 4 ríos. I don't love my country. Her abstract glory eludes me. But, this may sound bad, I would give my life for 10 of her places, for certain people, ports, pine forests, fortresses, for a ruined city, gray and monstrous, for several of her historical figures, for mountains, and 3 or 4 rivers. Okay, that was High Treason by Jose Emilio Pacheco. The Tumblewords Project. People have been kind enough to mention it all night and to show the fruits of their labor, and that could just as easily be you this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Our host will be Robin Schofield. She'll be giving a presentation on political poetry. It's in the air. It's everywhere. You got to do it. So that'll be good. March 14th, Kelly Mary McAllister, our friend up in Toronto, she'll be doing a great ekphrastic presentation in her great tradition. That'll be March the 14th. March the 21st will be Maria Perez, and March the 28th it'll be me again. I'm working on putting together a workshop about Maggie Smith, the poet, not the actress. So that is the March schedule as it stands now for Tumblewords. And you can see me around because I'll be around. I'll be the guy in the hat. And we'll kick it back to Richie. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Thank you, Kit. Thanks for the announcements. Again, thanks for everyone who's been tuning in so far. Again, shout out to Juliet. Thanks for being in the chat with us here. All the cool peeps that we know in real life as well. And we're going to keep this thing moving along. BWOMS has been around for a while. We started in 2007 in El Paso, and I took over in 2012. A really big part of that when I first started was our next performer. He was coming out and performing music, and he collaborated with so many artists and people. And so it's great that he can tune in with us, even though he's all the way in Frankfurt, Germany. But we got some smooth music right now from Luis Gamberos. So Luis, when you are ready, the stage is yours, man. Welcome back. Hello.
Hey, Richie. Thank you for always giving me very loving introduction. Going to sing a song by the Eels and Badly Drawn Boy. I need some sleep. You can't go on like this. I tried counting sheep, but there's one I always miss. Everyone says I'm getting down too low. Everyone says you just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go. Some sleep, time to put the old horse down. I'm in too deep, and the wheels keep spinning round. Everyone says I'm getting down too low. Everyone says you just gotta let it go. 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 There's nothing I can say to make you try to feel okay, and nothing you can do to stop me feeling the way I do. And if the chance should happen that I never see you again, just remember that I'll always love you. I'd be a better person on the other side, I'm sure. You'd find a way to help yourself find another door, to shrug off minor incidents and make us both feel proud. I just wish I could be there to see you through. You always were the one to make us stand out in a crowd. Though every once upon a while your head was in a cloud, there's nothing you could never do to ever let me down. And remember that I'll always love you. All right, well, thank you very much. My name's Luis Camberos. You can catch my music on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. And you know, Richie, like always, thanks a lot. And then I want to say hello to Kid. Like always, man. Hey, Kid. And hey, David. But then I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hello. How you doing?
All right, no, very cool. That's Luis Gamberos, everyone. We will share the links in just a moment. That's Bandcamp, SoundCloud, as well as Instagram links. Always really fun to just sit back and listen to Luis do his thing. Shout out to Rosa. Hey, thanks for joining us in the live chat. Hello, hello. Yeah, Luis is great for sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and come back to the States, and we're going to go to Seattle this time around, where we've got the Genius of Love. Well, that's Instagram, because you know, Seattle's Worst Everything is the sign-up name, and it's always great to have them on. We have Seattle's Worst Everything up next. So when you're ready, I will get you here on the screen. Welcome back to the show. Hello. Want to make sure.
Video.
Hey, there you are.
Is that the way it is? Okay. Probably not. Looks like I'm blurry, but that's okay. I'm the worst, so that's good. Can you hear me and see me and all them kind of things?
Yes, sir.
Here's the most important thing. Okay, this is a poem I wrote when Bush was president, and it shouldn't be making sense now, but I was asked to do an open mic last week. I don't even know how I got signed up, but I went there and I realized, oh, I don't have time to write anything. But in light of everything that's coming up, this makes sense. So here I go. Let's see, get kind of situated. I live with fools that don't distinguish love from sex. So they walk around like Allosaurus or Tyrannosaurus Rex. Big, bloated bodies with brains the size of ants, with the singular goal of getting into someone's pants. So as they obey the pinings of their latest erections and have 1960s free love style sex without the 1990s protections. And instead of being honest about their sexuality, they just lie and skis, which helps a whole generation learn about every disease. So daily fools ingest antiretroviral pills from their shelves to combat ailments they brought squarely upon themselves. I live with fools that think you get a manly man's body. Oops, you know what? I messed that up. That's the second page. Let me start all over. Sorry. All right. Boom. Duh. I live with fools that think that Oakland's girls at strip clubs and bachelor parties is okay. And it's all right to belittle people if they're gay. Arabs are a separate race, and stupidity once again states its case when my roommate in a fit of rage calls me nigger, attempting to push my buttons and pull my trigger. My emotions manipulate because he himself is filled with feelings of self-loathing, pity, inadequacy, and hate. I live with fools. I live with fools. I live with fools. I live with fools that think that they are better than those less fortunate living on the street. And like reggae, because it's got a cool beat, an exotic, erotic Afro-Caribbean sound, but when it comes to relating to real African people's struggles, they're nowhere to be found. Sure, they can quote statistics about Rodney or Martin Luther King, but when it comes to real actions, they won't do a thing, because it's clear that they emulate the very forces they claim to hate. So as they follow the empty, gilded path of the diamond and the bling bling, they choose to conveniently ignore what makes a caged bird sing. I live with fools that say it's okay for the poor, misguided, and undisciplined to join the US Army because of all of the wonderful things that they'll get to see, like the real poverty of the people in Bangladesh. But what about the spiritual poverty of the people that followed David Koresh? Fools always talking about depravity in other places and problems of other so-called races. Yet nowhere, no other land has disparities like the United States, where there resides a multi-billionaire, appropriate name, Gates. So the so-called new millennium symbol of monopolistic greed in a land where millions still don't graduate from high school or know how to read. I live with fools who go to church only after earthquakes because they got the temporary spiritual shakes. Yeah, the ground rattles and they realize that death could be near. So soothing words they long to hear. So as they enter into the so-called sanctuary door, the pedophile priest is thinking, haven't I fucked you somewhere before? And as the priest flashes back to a crime long ago, fools might stumble back onto something they already know. Like maybe, just maybe, real healing comes from within, and being caught up chasing the almighty dollar is the real sin. I live with fools that don't distinguish love from sex, so they walk around like Allosaurus or Tyrannosaurus Rex, big bloated bodies with the brains the size of ants, with a singular goal of getting into someone's pants. So as they obey the pinings of their latest erections and have 1960s free love style sex without the 1990s protections, and instead of being honest about their sexuality, they just lie and skis, which helps a whole generation learn about every disease. So daily, fools ingest antiretroviral pills from their shelves to combat ailments that they brought squarely upon themselves. I live with fools that think you get a manly man's body if you just ingest tons of protein powder, and you could win arguments if you just shout louder. So instead of following logic or making sense, they like to shout or bulldoze over evidence, relying on their primitive grunts and screeches to justify or negate the fact that they've been caught in a lie. So these frustrated, selfish children who constantly slam doors grow up to be worthless, privileged scums whom instigate wars, thinking only of their myopic fixations, which combined with positions of power leads to the suffering of entire nations. I live with fools that pass around pornography on a computer and argue about which denigrated female is lustier or cuter, arguing about the commodification of perverted desires and not connecting it to chattelized girls dying in house fires, dying because people have to be chained, drugged, brutalized, intimidated, and stolen to make pictures like that. Dying because they do things to them that most wouldn't do to a cat. Dying because of some sexually repressed idiots definition of bitches, a definition that leaves too many of our sisters rotting in ditches, dying because of some so-called man's abject perversity that relegates women to the banks of the Green River or some pig farm in Vancouver, BC. I live with fools that think you can kill in the name of peace. Well, to paraphrase NWA, fuck you and the police. The United States' constant bombing for peace is an absolute obscenity, which kind of equates to fucking for virginity. For one cannot make war and love at the same time any easier than stiff-ass Trump could drop a hip-hop rhyme. Could you imagine him saying a hip and a hop? Believe me, Florida would freeze over and time would stop. So let me end this warping of natural rules by saying, I live with fools, I live with fools, I live with fools. That's it. Sorry for the mix-up.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much. And of course, it's Genius of Love on Instagram. That's the social for you.
See, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in and sharing that work. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right. Cool. All right. We have some more performers, guys. We're going to keep this moving along. Next up, we are going to go to Laredo, Texas, where we have Discovia going to share some acapella. So Discovia, when you're ready, we'll get you here on the spotlight. After Discovia is Ed, Poetastic, followed by Tissosomok, and then Dan the Man. Discovia. Once you get on the screen, I will get you spotlight. Yeah. So I remember a previous time, I know you might be tuning in from work again, so if you had to step away, we could move on to the next performer. Discovia, check. Attendance. Want to make sure you're here with us. Remember in the early days of Zoom in 2020, there was always the seance joke, asking if someone's in the room with us now. Here I am again, coming back to that. All right, well, you know what? If you still got to get ready, we're going to go ahead and just for the sake of time, we'll move on to Ed, who's joining us from Washington, D.C. He's got some jokes and poems. It's Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you are ready, I will get you on the spotlight once you turn your video on. All right. You might have stepped out too. Maybe. Oh, you are ready. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Discovia. Yeah, let's get you on then. All right, welcome back, man. Yeah, just wanted to be sure. Discovia, take it away.
Sorry about that. Thank you for having me here. Appreciate you all for being here tonight, and thank you for bringing your amazing art as always. Poems I was just going to share tonight. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet with 2 brevity pieces. All right. Okay, this one's called Racism Drop Dead. I never had a problem with a sister or a brother of color from another mother. I'm all for fun and games, as you see. I love the idea of seeing colorful Yoshis enjoying rainbow sherbet ice cream on a hot, sunny summer forgiving day. I have more shades of color than the pride flag representing LBGQT community all the way. Now, if the color of my skin serves to be a threat or issue, my darkness is a problem for you when we're not far from each other on the shade spectrum, then I believe you are in the wrong on your perspective of darkness. You're worried about the wrong darkness when we all bleed the same red. Shame on you. I never wish for your downfall. I've been down with falls filling me in my soul, suffering accompanied with dread. I'd be a different person, worse than hell, if I ever ignored my family's teachings and all the rightful words of what any mindful mentor ever said. Screw you, racism. You and your whole clique can drop dead. That's my piece. Drop dead racism. Let's see. Next piece. Facts with a grain of salt. It's okay to be unpolished or unfinished. We seek variety, but we exclude vulnerability when it's all part of culture and living. We're members of a transforming world where similarities and opposites come together in unison. There's always opportunities. Remember this: don't let the issues or worries ruin another bound to be a successful day. You may have encounters that will make you ill with hardships between a rock and a cold, cold, hard place on a plate. Now that's your entree. Pity for an appealing appetizer. And I suppose for dessert, it's rough times. Beautifully stated, something to look forward to. That's the thing to remember. There's always something to look forward to in case you ever get lost in the past. Simple as a matter of believing. Seeing everything in a heightened perspective in terms of creating light, even from mistakes, and having an eye for the good, although the bad may linger in your company. The Titanic wasn't built in a day, neither was Rome. And if you ain't gonna try, then leave it the hell alone. You can't cry over spilled or spoiled milk. It will not aid in the cleaning the mess or reverting it back to original freshness. However, it's more than okay to cry. When has it ever caused problems for another soul? It's okay to feel helpless because it does not mean you are hopeless beyond repair. Take everything with a grain of salt. Yes, some days will be more rewarding than others. You are worth more than what money can afford if nobody ever informed you. I don't care what your parents say. I don't even care if they never had faith in your spirited accomplishments. This proud father right here wants to see his own, all children, and you succeed. Yes, times will come where you will get frustrated and upset, and I believe our evolution lies within our emotions. My inner me believes in that you that can do anything imaginable or extraordinary. There's no escape from the obstacles. No, excuse me, obstacles. I offer these words in terms of you achieving your destiny. I believe in you. Facts with a grain of salt. And feel free to, find me by my Facebook as well as my Instagram. You can just search up for Facebook. It's Matthew Descovia, MatthewDescovia. And for Instagram is Descovia Arts, DescoviaArts. And yes, I try my best to do collabs and just other projects as well. I appreciate you all for having me. Y'all have a great one. Thank you, Richie, Kit. Y'all always do a fantastic job. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, thank you, Scovia, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming through. All right, we're gonna keep this night going. We have a few left, and hopefully our next performer is here because I was calling him out earlier. We got Ed Poetastic, Washington D.C. up next. He got jokes, he's got poems. So Ed, when you are ready, let me get you on the spotlight. As always, great to see you, my friend. Go ahead and take it away. Hey.
Sorry. But I'm deeply sorry. It's been
No,
a
no
crazy
worries.
Monday. Hello, my name is Ed Potential and Fantastic. Please in time you could join my rhyme. Five for sublime. Thank you for giving me the time. I got 16 cowboy jokes, yay, and 3 poems. Are you ready, Kit?
Let's rope this steer. Let's rope this steer.
Okay, let's rope this. Let's rope this horse, cowpoke. What does a teenage cowboy say when he throws somebody out of the saloon?
Oh, well, that's an important moment in any cowboy's life. What does the teenage cowboy say when he throws a roughneck out of the saloon?
Yeet ha!
Nice.
What's the time when your cow sits on your cowboy hat?
Oh no. Oh, it's a terrible thing for me to consider. I don't know. What time is it when your cow sits on your cowboy hat?
Time to get a new cowboy hat.
Yes, I suppose so.
What do you call a takeout low-calorie meal for a cowboy?
Well, it's good they're looking after themselves. What do you call a takeout low-calorie meal for a cowboy?
A saddle light dish.
Oh, you wound me.
How do space cowboys wrangle their cattle?
Ooh. How do space cowboys wrangle their cattle?
A tractor beam.
Oh no.
Why did everybody think the cowboy was so funny?
Oh, well, they do have a certain wit about them. Why did everyone think that this cowboy was so funny?
Because he was always horsing around.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did the young cowboy say when it sorry, what did the young cowboy say when his sweet little dog went missing?
Oh no. I hope this turns out okay. What did the cowboy say when his sweet little dog went missing?
Doggone.
Oh. Oh no.
What's a cowboy least favorite what's a cowboy's least favorite car?
Well, I don't think they like any cars because they like the open range and wide open country. But what is their least favorite kind of car?
A Cadillac.
Oh. God damn it.
What is it called when a cowboy dies and comes back to life?
Can I say it? Because I just
Heck yes. Go ahead.
Reincarnation.
Whoa, nice. Yeah. What do you call a retired old cowboy?
I don't know. What do you call a retired old cowboy?
Deranged.
Mm-hmm. It's not right in the head.
Why was the cowboy sad?
Oh, I don't know. Why was the cowboy sad?
He couldn't giddy up.
Oh. Is this the same cowboy that lost his dog? He's got a lot on his mind.
A little lasso for his thoughts. What do the Dallas Cowboys and a Chick-fil-A manager have in common?
Oh dear. Mom, leave the room. What do the Dallas Cowboys and the Chick-fil-A manager have in common?
Neither one shows up for work on Sunday.
Goodness.
Why are so many cowboys also gamblers?
I don't know. Why are so many cowboys also gamblers?
Because they always like raising the stakes.
That's right.
And last but not least, what do you call a cowboy who teaches acting class?
I don't know. What do you call a cowboy who also teaches acting classes?
A stagecoach.
Stagecoach. Well, it's time for me to mosey on out.
Thanks for moseying on down. We really appreciate you. We got some good old jokes next week, cowpokes. Woo! Yeah. But thank you so very much for being patient with me. I got 3 poems. I need to turn that off. All right. The first poem is called Happy Women's History Month, everyone. This is called Drawn in the Smudge. We created by Earth, the dirt of rebirth. We are her seeds. We breed, she bleeds. Strengthened by our mud, soaking the floods. We're flowers in her image, roots without any limits. We don't show you love, your voices are winds above. We feel your earthquakes while it painfully aches. We see your thunderstorms, your frantic cries of a newborn. We touch your hurricanes, the wails of growing pains. We drink your tsunamis, the water cleans your body. We hear you, our mother. We feel your thunder. Yes, we understand and do. Sorry to be a burden to you. Our mother work is never done. Thank you for being our son. Forgive your uprooted trees. We are pieces of your humanity. Thank you. The second one's called Guy's Love. You possess an undefined natural and organic beauty. You dance around the bright sun on important duty. Your eyes are the Great Lakes colored sparkling blue. Your tears are sweeter than strawberries, blueberries, and honeydews. Your body's a wonderland full of sublime and wonderful delights. You give us warming sunlight to help our darkest sight. Your skin is earthly, smooth and grounded, unlike the vast deserts. You just give, and give till it hurts. Your children are the vivid, rooted, fluorescent trees and flowers. They stand healthy, grounded, and sturdy with unique powers. Your age is vast compared to the far reaches of dark space. I didn't say ancient. Oh, wait. Is there a teardrop or a river flow across your face? You're more powerful than any earthquake, tsunami, or hurricane. You burden us with our toxic fumes, endless cutting, and rumbling pains. Your rays are roaring, unpredictable, and screaming volcanoes spewing molten lava. Sometimes you create clouds, dropping clear, refreshing, rejuvenating Java. Your love is surreal, vivid, and deeper than our baby blue skies. You feed, nurture, and grow us, the pesky flies. Hope this poem does you justice, because it's coming from a microscopic soul. Thank you for the gifts of diamonds, rubies, iron, titaniums, coppers, silvers, and golds. Thank you. And the last one's called Standing on One Leg. I'm going off balance, wobbling as a duck. Maintain the distance. I'm out of lady luck. I jump, and jump. I'm still at the same place. I like a crazy stump with the feet down my face. The echoes of why in my mind, the cruel acts of unforeseen fate. Life loves to kick us in the behind, blinded by sadness and hate. Someone has been there before. You're just too blind to see it. Did ignite your bloody core? Good. Then please don't quit. I'm crazy, local, and silly. Are you just a woman or guy? Don't feel guilty, but simply your body hasn't run dry. Keep up wobbling or hopping. You can really inspire us all. I know depression is barking, but please spring but never fall. Life is a zigzag roller coaster ride without passes, tickets, or money. It's your weird, outrageous guide. It's true. I'm not trying to be funny. A tiny acorn could be a huge tree. Why can't? No, why won't you? Be a sign of courage and glee. Please make a breakthrough. Thank you.
Awesome. And of course, Ed, as always, thank you. And you know the drill, man. How can the fine people follow and support you online?
You can follow me, support me online while coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our money light such delight in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman. And never forget that I'll be spewing my wonderful rhyming insight to make your night set light in the wonderful, fantastic open mics. Woo! But never forget that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. And remember, life is not a contest, so never stop being and doing your best. Yeah.
All right, awesome. As always, we get the bonus poem, the send off, from Ed. Thank you as always for the jokes, the humor, the poetry. All right, we're gonna go from Washington D.C. to Los Angeles, where we have the Sosomic up next. So Tez, when you're ready, I'll get you up here on the screen. Welcome back, man. And when you're ready, yeah, there you are. All right, take it away. Yo.
There I am, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to go in with some more of that glorious tribal nation, chapter 2, anomaly. The notification arrives before the staff does. 6:12 a.m. automated hydrologic update. Cumulative rainfall variance exceeding prior projection band by 2%. Parameter sensitivity flagged. The alert appears in blue, no escalation color, no emergency header, no request for immediate response. The language is a design decision, neutral enough to avoid panic, precise enough to establish accountability. I set my bag under the desk without unzipping it and opened the attachment. The hydrograph fills the monitor. The projected seasonal band remains intact. 2 shades of blue nested across a range of expected fluctuation. The red line that represents current accumulation has edged closer to the upper margin than it sat yesterday, not crossing, approaching. A small change in slope is easier to feel than a change in height. The line isn't higher by much, but the angle is different. The curve narrows the buffer between what the model predicts has begun to assemble. I pull yesterday's report and place the graphs side by side. The differences are not dramatic. They are incremental. The kind of incremental that becomes meaningful only when a system relies on margins. The red line on yesterday's graph rode comfortably within the band. Today it leans up against the band's upper edge, as if the model had exhaled and found less air than expected. Parameter sensitivity flagged. I opened the model notes, soil absorption assumption standard, ground saturation within expected seasonal range, rainfall input updated per NOAA accumulative. The language of the model is careful. It is written to survive scrutiny. It gives no admission of uncertainty, but it can name as variance. Absorption capacity is not a dramatic phrase. It doesn't spike a room. It doesn't set off any internal alert. It implies soil, which implies ground, which implies a physical condition the model holds only as a variable. The summary does not mention soil. The summary speaks in discharge rates and inches. It speaks in probabilities. It does not speak in softness. I forward the file to Elena with one line, review at 9. The office is quiet enough that the HVAC, the HVAC, sounds like breath. The lights above the corridor remain dim to early morning cycle. I take the first sip of coffee and let the graph sit on the screen without touching it. The red line does not move while I stare at it. The movement is in time, not sight. The west-facing window, the sky is low and heavy. The river does not distinguish itself yet. From this height and in this light, water becomes a darker band of absence between trees, a suggestion rather than a line. The building hums into morning. At 8:45, the conference room begins its fill. First come in the planners, then the compliance, then engineering. Packets are distributed in a practice sequence. Laptops open, pens and land at the top of paper. Water bottles are placed within reach as if hydration were part of a ritual. The table is oval, wide enough to imply inclusion, narrow enough to remain containment. The lights are recessed, diffused, designed to remove shadow. In the building's most important rooms, shadow is treated. Martin arrives last. He does not enter with authority the way some managers do. He enters with inevitability, the quiet assumption that the room's purpose aligns with his presence. He nods at the wall screen and the meeting begins. Elena, he says, the projects, she projects the hydrograph. This morning's update flags a minor variance, she says. Rainfall accumulation is exceeding prior projection band by 2.3%. 2.3% hangs in the room like a number that wants to become a phrase, still within tolerance, Martin says. He doesn't ask it as a question, he offers it as a stabilizing fact. Yes, Elena replies, still within the overall envelope. But the slope increased overnight. Slope. And a subtle shift in language from what to how. Daniel from compliance flips through his packet as if the answer might be printed. Any thresholds triggered? He asks. No triggers crossed, Elena says. No exceedance, but the model sensitivity notes suggest reduced absorption in the upper soil layer. Reduce absorption. The phrase brings ground into a room that prefers to speak in rates. For a second, the group holds the tension between physicality and abstraction without naming it. Martin nods once. Document the variance. Document. The anomaly becomes paperwork. In a note to the next public review packet, he continues, clarify rainfall variance and model update. Clarify. Clarify means frame. It means assign meaning to a change so it can be held inside. It means the system acknowledges drift without conceding loss of control. The meeting advances. Budget line items, permit timeline, contractor coordination, without tolerance becomes refrain, repeated, not because anyone is nervous, but because repetition is how institutions form confidence. And confidence is a cumulative effect. And I'll stop there.
All right. Tez, was that it? Sorry.
Wow.
Wasn't sure.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
I gave you a list of the chapter.
Okay, cool. Do you want to plug your books and your...
Yeah, you can pick up my book off of Amazon, Teso Somo Carnayo Chihuahua. And then also I have a featured at the end of this month on Cobalt Poets. And I think Eddie gets to go before me, so it's going to be a hard act to follow. And we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Cobalt Poets, yes. Thank you so much. All right. And of course, any links we'll forward to YouTube chat as well. All right. This is Somok, everyone. And all right. Sorry, the world news is having me super distracted right now, you know. All right. Dan. Is Dan in the house? Dan the man, Mr. Daniel Tennessee. Let's get you here on the mic because you are up, our closer, our finisher. Sharing some poetry from 915. So Dan, I know you're always ready. All right, in the waiting room. All right. Oh, Sandy made it into the chat. Hey, Sandy. Hello. Yeah, so as we get Dan ready, I just want to say join us this week. There you are. Hey, where are you? Where?
Yeah.
Echo. All right, Dan, go ahead.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me just screenshot myself right here. And yep, hang on 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm gonna read this one. I think you might like this. It's called
The Weight of My Purpose, written by my friend J.W.K. Jackson, better known as Coach J. Here it is. You'll like this one. Okay, so I'm going to read some of these and then, yes. Well, it's a book. Take a look. The Way of My Purpose. It's kind of like something for. Okay. Yeah. All right. Dedication to God who carried me when I couldn't stand, who stay when I doubted, and who held my purpose even when I thought I lost everything. To my brother, gone too soon, but in present, in every step I take, every promise I keep, and every legacy I carry forward. To my mother, for your strength, your prayers, and your love that never wavered, and even the road was heavy. And to everyone who showed up for me in silence and in struggle, and in faith and in patience, and who continues to walk with me through the journey. This book exists because you did. There it is. The Weight of My Purpose. Yeah. And what's going on in the third month? Well, 31 days. Yeah. So, International Women's Day is this Sunday, the day of daylight savings time. And yeah, we have to set our clocks an hour, no, I'm sorry, an hour ahead. Uh, what a cutie blind. That daylight savings time is a really blindfolding slime. I hate daylight savings time. I always thought the Grand Canyon State would. I always thought we stay at the Grand Canyon State. That would be Arizona because that state doesn't have daylight savings time. Good thing. It's just like here in the California time. Yeah. And also spring break and daylights and St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget, wear green or it's sorry about your damn luck. Yeah. Well, you're pretty screwed as exploits of delete, son with uck. Well, you see Daffy Duck. Excuse me. Okay. And then we head to the first day of spring. Yep, spring's coming. Yeah, it's time to spread your wings. Always like it a ding. Yep, let the bell ring. Yep. And even though we still have 31 days, but in the last day, the day before April Fool's Day, we have the Cesar Chavez Day. Yep. And we all know there are at least 3 or 4 birthday tributes I did. Yeah, so I know the very first one I did was SoCal Val. The 15th, there was another one, Christine Ponce Diaz. There was another one, I think there's 2 more. 3, 4. I'm trying to remember which one is it, but I know it's Christine Ponce Diaz, and I know it's the other one is SoCal Val. I know she was my very first one. I can't believe it's been a decade since I did the very first birthday tribute. So, no time to dispute, but it's always the propose. And yes, according to my friend Coach J, the weight of my purpose. Okay. Still, I'm in the process of catching up as usual. I do apologize. But let's pray. But it looks like I got a lot of catching up to do. Well, it looks like I'm about to finish off the countdown from 2 weeks ago of Valentine's Day. Call it a belated one.
But yeah, I know it gets crazy. Bear with it, but I hope you'll like it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I know that spring break is in sight, and daylight savings time. What a whack! What a whack of like! What a whack of blight! Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, Richie. Let's go ahead and call it a night.
You don't have to sound so sad, Dan. Where can people find you online and support your work? All right, cool. Thanks for the answer, Dan. All right, thanks again to everyone. Pretty bumpin' live stream today, live room as well. Shout out to everyone who hung out with us in the live chat and sent all those awesome emojis. And you know, I look forward to seeing you guys during the week. A lot of those of you that live in El Paso. Again, this week, Tuesday, we're going to be at Rosewood for Verse and Harmony. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9. Come through, read some poetry, play some music, or just hang out. You know, come hang out with us. Wednesday, we have Storycraft at Crown of Crows, and 6:30 doors open. First name is drawn at 7. So if you have some longer pieces that you want to share, come through. We would love to have you. And as always, just check us out, BWOMS.com. Follow us on social media. We're trying to work on some unique programming in the next few months, so maybe stay tuned. Once that's more developed, we'll let you guys know more about that. But otherwise, for the online mic, my name is Rich. See you guys next Monday. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's be good.